Hello investors. When I talk about India's largest business empires, names like Tata, Adani, Reliance and Mahindra comes to mind. But there is one group that often remains underappreciated despite producing some of the country's most critical resources. From aluminium and zinc to silver, copper and crude oil, this group literally powers large parts of India's economy. And after completing one of the biggest corporate restructuring in Indian history, this group has become even more interesting. I am talking about the Vedanta Group. Vedanta Limited gained popularity last year after its massive rally, wherein the share prices increased from 300 levels to an all-time high of 787 rupees. Another reason which makes this stock investors' favorite is its dividend payment. They have one of the highest dividend yields in India, which is over 14%. But the question is, how big is Vedanta Group compared to Tata, Adani and Reliance? How did Anil Agarwal build this empire and what changed after the historic demerger? Let me explain. The story of Vedanta began in 1976 when Anil Agarwal started a small scrap metal trading business. Over the next few decades, he steadily expanded into mining and materials. Some of the biggest milestones that they achieved were the acquisitions of Sterlite Industries, entry into copper and aluminium, purchase of Hindustan Zinc from Government of India, acquisition of Ken India, expansion into iron ore, power and steel, and global operations across South Africa and Namibia. Today, Vedanta has diversified from a scrap metal trader to one of the most diversified global natural resources companies. Now, why does Vedanta matter to India? Vedanta, the group, has a very strategic importance as they are India's largest aluminium producer, India's largest zinc producer, one of the world's top silver producers, India's only nickel producer, one of the country's biggest private oil producers, and one of the largest exporters of iron ore. This makes Vedanta a critical player in India's ambitions in manufacturing, electric vehicles, renewable energy, defense, infrastructure, and energy security. Now, before I dive further into the video, let me tell you about a way how you as an investor can invest in some of the most important and futuristic sectors and stocks through our curated list of small cases. Our list ranges from defense, AI and data center, automobile and auto ancillaries, and more. Now, coming back to the video, in 2023, Anil Agarwal announced one of the largest restructuring strategy in India, and in June 2026, the process was finally completed. Instead of one conglomerate, shareholders now own 5 listed companies. For every 1 share of Vedanta held, investors received 1 share each of 4 newly listed entities. Vedanta Limited still remains and trades as a residual company. Its major assets include Hindustan Zinc, Vedanta Zinc International, copper business, Ficor business, Nicomed nickel business, and critical mineral blocks. Vedanta Limited aims to generate over $5 billion EBITDA by FY30, which is expected to grow at nearly 18% CAGR. The current market capitalization of the company is approximately 1.2 lakh crores. A new company that got listed is Vedanta Aluminium Metal. This houses Jharsuguda Smelter, Balco, and Lanjigarh Refinery, which makes the company the 3rd largest aluminium producer outside of China. The market capitalization of this company post-listing is somewhere around 1.7 lakh crores. The next stock that got listed is Vedanta Oil and Gas. It operates under the Kane brand and holds interest in 44 blocks, covers more than 47,000 square kilometers, possesses 1.4 billion barrels of resources, and produces nearly 1/4 of India's domestic crude oil. The market capitalization of this company is approximately 15,000 crores. The next stock that got listed is Vedanta Power. This company contains their multiple power plants across different states, and in fact, this company is India's 5th largest private thermal power producer. The estimated market capitalization of this company is also somewhere approximately 15,000 crores. The next stock that got listed is Vedanta Iron and Steel. This contains their iron ore and steel assets. This entity became one of the best performing newly listed companies and rallied over 16% shortly after listing, taking the company's market capitalization over 10,000 crores. Following the demerger, the combined value of all these companies are somewhere between 3.5 to 4 lakh crores. And Vedanta isn't just stopping there. The group is aggressively investing in growth. Hindustan Zinc plans to double zinc production to 2 million tons with a target EBITDA of more than $4 billion by FY30. Their copper business aims to become a 1 million ton producer with expansion projects underway in Saudi Arabia, UAE and India. Their segment Nicomed is targeting 60 kiloton per annum nickel capacity. Vedanta has also secured blocks for copper, gold, nickel, graphite, and vanadium, which is expected to play a major role in EVs and battery technology. Now let's compare this business group with some of the other groups. The first on the list is Tata Group, which is India's oldest and largest business conglomerate. With over 150 years, the group has evolved from a trading company into a global powerhouse with interests spanning technology, automobile, steel, consumer products, power, hospitality, airlines, retail, telecom, electronics, defense, and financial services. They own TCS, which is India's largest IT service company, Tata Motors, which is also India's largest automobile manufacturers, Tata Steel, which is among the world's most geographically diversified steel producers, Titan, which dominates India's organized jewelry market, and Trent, which has become one of India's fastest growing retail companies. The combined market capitalization of the group exceeds 35 lakh crores, making it the biggest business group in India. But what distinguishes Tata Group from other conglomerates is its ownership structure. Around 60 to 65% of Tata Sons is owned by philanthropic trusts, meaning a large portion of the wealth generated by the group ultimately supports causes related to education, healthcare, scientific research, and rural development. The next biggest group in India is Reliance Group, which operates through two listed companies, Reliance Industries and Jio Financial Services. Founded by Dhirubhai Ambani in the 1950s, Reliance Group has transformed from a small textile trading business into India's largest private sector conglomerate and one of the most valuable companies in Asia. Today, the company has presence across telecom, retail, digital services, media, financial services, and green energy. The group employs over 3.5 lakh people worldwide and has a combined market capitalization of over 22 lakh crores. Next comes the Adani Group with 11 listed companies. Founded in 1980s by Gautam Adani, the Adani Group has grown from a commodity trading business into one of India's largest infrastructure and energy conglomerates. What began as a modest trading operation in Ahmedabad has evolved into a diversified empire spanning ports, airports, power generation, renewable energy, transmission, gas distribution, cement, mining, logistics, data center, and defense. The group is also actively investing in the futuristic themes such as data centers, AI, smart meters, and battery energy storage. The combined market capitalization of all the listed companies is over 20 lakh crores. Next, we have Bajaj Group. Founded in 1920s, the Bajaj Group is one of India's oldest and most respected business houses. Over the century, the group has evolved from a trading enterprise into a diversified conglomerate with a strong presence across automobiles, financial services, insurance, electrical equipments, and investment. The company owns some of the key businesses such as Bajaj Finance, Bajaj Finserv, Bajaj Auto, Bajaj Electricals, Bajaj Holding and Investments, Mukund Limited, and consumer and infrastructure businesses. The combined market capitalization of all these Bajaj Group companies exceed over 10 lakh crores. The group stands among India's most admired business houses, known for its conservative capital allocation, strong corporate governance, and long-term value creation. Next on the list is JSW Group. Founded in the 1980s, the JSW Group has grown from a single steel plant into one of India's fastest growing and most diversified industrial conglomerates. What started as a steel business has evolved into a multi-sector empire with interests spanning steel, energy, infrastructure, cement, paints, automobile, green mobility, and defense. They are also actively investing in green hydrogen, electric mobility, defense manufacturing, and battery storage. The combined market capitalization of all the listed JSW Group stocks exceed 9 lakh crores. Next is Aditya Birla Group, which is one of India's oldest and most diversified business group. They have transformed from a cotton trading business into a global conglomerate with operations across 41 countries and 6 continents. Some of their key businesses includes Ultratech Cement, which is India's cement giant, Hindalco, which is one of the world's largest aluminium producers, Grasim Industries, Aditya Birla Capital, Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail, and telecom and digital business through Vodafone Idea. The group also has interests in chemical, carbon black, renewable energy, real estate, textile, mining, and entertainment. The combined market capitalization of the group also exceeds 9 lakh crores. Next is Mahindra Group. They have evolved from a steel trading company into one of India's most diversified conglomerates. Today, the group operates across more than 20 industries ranging from automobiles and tractors to IT services, financial services, hospitality, aerospace, logistics, and real estate. Some of their key businesses includes Mahindra and Mahindra, which is a flagship company and India's leading SUV manufacturers. Next is Tech Mahindra, which is one of India's leading IT services companies. Mahindra Finance is also among India's largest rural-focused NBFCs. Mahindra Life Sciences, Club Mahindra, and recently the group has also entered into aerospace and defense manufacturing. The combined market capitalization of all the companies of the group is estimated to be between 6 to 7 lakh crores. Comparatively, the Vedanta Group is still smaller, and Vedanta trades at a lower valuation because of high debt, commodity cyclicality, dependence on global metal prices, complex corporate structure, and ESG and regulatory concerns. However, the demerger was specifically aimed at removing the conglomerate discount and allowing each business to be valued independently. From a scrap metal trader in 1970s to a global natural resources giant today, Anil Agarwal's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. Despite having a smaller size, Vedanta's businesses are deeply linked to India's future. And after this historic demerger, the group is entering into a completely different phase. The bigger question is, can these 5 companies eventually become independent giants? And that's a story investors will be watching very closely. So have you invested in any of the Vedanta Group companies? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you.